Saka's the best player in the world, isn't it? But there's, Rodrigo's and Mbappe's, all of these guys. But to hear how they try to throw you in that conversation and to see how you stood up to, bro, you're you know me, don't really like the wokeness where football's concerned, but you're a franchise player. Even the way you reacted to the penalty, they tried to. Do you know how much things is going under the radar with Arsenal versus Real Madrid? Do you know how many things are going under the radar? Look at what them, and the game is the game. They should have done it. Did you see it when the audacity to try? It didn't bang Saka. Don't do that again. But I rate the confidence. But the audacity in the second leg for Arsenal Football Club in the quarterfinals of the Champions League at the Bernabeu against current holders, 15 winners, to chip the Penenka against Courtois, who's the one Real Madrid player up until that point, and the first leg was amazing. It didn't bang. I rate the confidence. Obviously, Saka to go to the next level. The Euros, this one, the one in the title challenge against West Ham. Let's start scoring them. But to do that, to see how they surrounded him, tried to rattle him, it's again going on under the radar. I know if the shoe was on the other foot, what would be said? Carvajal, what's he doing? To be fair, that's the closest a player's got to Bukayo Saka across two legs. Big up Benjamin White for backing the beef. But do you know the nonsense they tried to do to rattle him? And they do it now. And obviously, you look at when he's getting his leg kicked in two against Ipswich and the man's being booed for that. Now, this is nothing new to Saka, but he understands it now. And again, if I look at it realistically, you've missed a penalty in the Euros final at Wembley. What the hell does this mean? You've gone through all of that. This is actually nothing, And I mean that in a positive way. This is nothing. I'm not dead. This is it. Saka's a poster boy. And we're going to, for those of you that were dissing the one behind him, why for that? Martinelli, boy, apologies. Constructive criticism, part that to the side. Apologies will be accepted. But on a serious note, we know we need Bukayo Saka to sign a new deal. Give the man what he wants. Again, kind of going back to what we were saying slightly earlier, with the amount of players that are on wages and us having to streamline and review on a case-by-case basis, there's a lot of work for Arsenal and Berta to do. And it's no coincidence. We started fighting for the league in 2022, 23. Going into the summer, that will be the fourth year that we've been in these kind of conversations, right? That's a long time for a squad to be together. There's a lot of evolution. You look at certain players that were first names on the team sheet at some point during this period. They, for one reason or another, some of them are obsolete. Only some men have, grown in ability and made themselves even more important. Some men are falling by the wayside. And shout out Martinelli and Saka, because them two deserve nights like this. When we were proper dead, you was there. But yeah, now obviously it's no coincidence. As soon as Bukayo Saka's allegedly in contract talks, and you could just see he needs to sign a new deal. Real Madrid are trying reportedly to make a bid in the summer for Vinicius this summer. If they for Saka, this summer, if they sell either Vinicius or Rodrigo. Saka's unpriceable. He's got history to achieve it. He's unpriceable. We'll have Rodrigo and Vinicius though. One of them needs to learn going into the 2026 World Cup how to turn up in big games. I'm sure Martinelli can show them. It's cool though. The good news hopefully keeps flowing. We know we love the Highland Demons. Both Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly allegedly are now in final stages of agreeing new long-term contracts at Arsenal. Andrea Berta is concluding the final details before officially announcing it. Long-term deals for both Highland stars sorted. Now, that's music to my ears, and Arsenal should be getting into that. It'd be lovely if Saka signs a new deal in time. I'm giving the content team something to do around Highland and all of them signing new deals, but they deserve it. Nwaneri ain't even turned up like that yet. He's had some fantastic moments. He's obviously evolved into the first team and he's wavy, but he had his Lewis-Skelly time yet. And Lewis-Skelly's time is going to get even better. Both of them are living absolute movies, and God knows how much you two indirectly have saved us. Like you, Nwaneri, I'll be honest, you're just lit. If you want to be a right winger, a 10, an 8, a striker, have the conversation with Arteta and just make sure you're there. Same goes for Lewis-Skelly. I'd love to see you in midfield on a consistent basis. I'm more than happy to entertain the, left back shouts. And I actually think, I don't want to do too much because, he's 18 and Rice and that and not that much older, who's another one that's spoken about in relation to what I'm going to say. And obviously Odegaard as well, who's the captain. But Lewis-Skelly, I can't lie, he's captain material. I can't forget it because that's what, the strength, how good he is on the half turn, the technical ability, the tenacity. Obviously, he's got a lot to improve. But the best thing is the mentality. He's on this. Like, he's forever on this. I've seen you come through the North London derby twice now against Manchester City. The Bernabeu. I don't need to, I do need to remind the Arsenal fans, but I don't need to remind City fans what these two did. Saka weren't there. there's been parts of the season that could just be so romantic if we win the champs. And had we have put our best foot forward in the summer where uh the squad's concerned, man, it's could have been a movie, man. It could have been a movie, but that's what we want to hear. Now, let's see exactly what this is. Nwaneri, Mikel Arteta handed summer transfer solution with Arsenal record breaker. Well, I think technically when he made his debut, not even last year, 2 years ago against Brentford, broke some sort of statistic. Let's see what this is saying anyways, folks. I'll read it out to you if you're just listening. Smash the like button as well, people. Inner Circle, I'm Mbuemo you. I've just seen your comment. It's caught my eye. Tried supporting them for nearly 60 years like me. Let's list all the players expected to leave in the summer. Do that, people. Do that. We're going to come right back to that Inner Circle. But yeah, let me have some structure. Arsenal have plenty to do in the summer. I think we all know that. But Nwaneri has at least solved one problem for them. For years, the Gunners have been looking for someone to provide competition and cover for Bukayo Saka, which I think is what he's going to do in the short term at the very least, which you have to do that. We don't know if Lewis Kelly is going to be a long-term left back. He might have a career in midfield or he might never. Saka was a left. Some of us knew Saka would end up playing out wide and on the right-hand side eventually, but for a while, he just had to earn his chops, word to Kenny Ken, as a left back. At the end of the day, you need to get games. And as good as Lewis Kelly and Nwaneri and all these guys are, at the end of the day, yeah, you just need to play where the gaffer tells you. And once you get that opportunity, if you're able to, like both of them have done, grab it with both hands. When you solidify yourself into the team, you can then do the Saka thing. I want to play up front. I want to do this and that. You could even do the Maitland-Niles thing where you're part of the team. You win an FA Cup. You go on Instagram, not that they will, and say, oh, I just want to play in centre mid. Ironically, still playing fullback. Shout out Ainsley Maitland-Niles because he's not wrong for that. But you just got to get minutes. So yeah, we do have plenty to solve. Nwaneri in the short term for me is probably off the right wing. I don't think he's ready necessarily to play centre mid, but I mean that in a positive way. And he needs to be exposed to that at some point. Like I'd love to see him play in the Odegaard role because I think a lot of what Nwaneri needs to improve is actually off the ball. Obviously on the ball, you know, how to finish, when to part, like certain technical proficiencies on certain passes and shots, but it's off the ball. It's off the ball. Once you get into the Premier League, obviously you need to improve on the ball, but you switch off for a second. Is what it is. Half of these academy guys, technically, they could probably play in the Premier League, but it's the pace of everything. Academy football is no match for that. This is, I don't know what that is, but it's something else. But yeah, moving on. In Nwaneri, it would appear they have the answer, and the teenager continued his remarkable breakout campaign on Sunday by finding the net against Ipswich. I did think it would go down as an own goal, but like they tried to say, there's stats and then there's facts. Nwaneri scored, blood. Wavy guy. For years, I'm reading the same thing. I need to actually zoom in, man, because this is the writing's way too small. There we go. Nwaneri has now scored 9 goals this season, and 5 of those have come since he's moved to the right wing at the start of January. It's a new role for the 18-year-old who predominantly played as an attacking midfielder when coming through Arsenal's academy, but he relished the challenge of stepping up while Saka was out injured. Amen, and big him up for that. He really did, but he's not the first player. We've seen this at Arsenal Football Club. The first player that's going to end up playing in midfield one day or is going to be a midfielder having to earn their chops out wide. We've seen that. Iwobi from the jump. Yeah, Iwobi's playing off the left for us. Wenger was saying from the jump, he's going to be a midfielder. To a degree, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Jack Wilshere's another one. Aaron Ramsey's another one. We could force it because he could play in those roles, but you could even say Sammy Nasri and actually Santi Cazorla to a degree in an Arsenal shirt. And there's probably some others I've skipped out. He's cool where he is, man. But yeah, man, I just think with Nwaneri, it's really just off the ball with you. Once you fine tune that, the world's your oyster, lad. Credit to you at the club. Me, naturally, I've always been a 10. And again, it's the off the ball stuff in the 10 that Odegaard does that maybe Mikel Arteta doesn't feel he has someone that can replicate. Had Fabio Vieira done that, because let's be honest, it's not a 10 I want to see. Like we all grew up with 10s emotional and whatnot. But if everybody's fit, God forbid, but if Odegaard's out, I'm not saying this will be the case because Arteta sat there and said, Declan Rice can play 3 positions. We know he can play a 6. There were some doubts, even the most optimistic of ones, that he could play 8. He's done that. I don't know about the 10 thing, Mikel Arteta, if those are the 3 roles. But for me, it's just off the ball with Nwaneri. I've played as a 10 my whole life, but again, I can play as a striker as well. Arteta said that. Right wing is a new one for me, but I've liked the challenge of a new position. It's been tough adapting to a new position, but that's part of football. Facts. This is what I envisioned in my head. This is what I wanted to do. Thoughts become things, man. If the manager asks you to play somewhere, you have to do it to the highest level. It's been hard. It's been up and down, but I've enjoyed it. I can play anywhere the team needs me. That's all we want to hear. The records have tumbled for Nwaneri this season, who originally began his began it playing as a right number 8 in Arsenal's midfield. Before his 18th birthday last month, he had scored 8 goals, and no player in Arsenal's history has managed more for the men's first team before that landmark. So yeah, you and Lewis Skelly already creating history, man. It just shows what hard work and opportunity can do for a lot of us. Nwaneri has even shone in the Champions League. Yes, he has, and last month became the third youngest scorer in the Champions League knockout stages. He also found the net in successive Champions League games against Girona and PSV, becoming the youngest player to achieve such a feat. This is what I envisioned in my head. This is what I wanted to do. So it's no surprise I've achieved it. Aura. Because it's one thing to have the ability, it's another thing to do it. And even the celebrations, he just not even going to celebrate too tough. We got some good players. We got some bloody good young players, man. Long may it continue. Long may it continue. Long and big up to Nathan Butler Desi for making his debut as well. I wouldn't say I was nervous when I first joined the first team, but I'd say there was a different pressure that I was feeling. I think I saw that it was a good thing, and it shows that I care, that I'm feeling these things. Pick him up, man. I think he spoke on the older players. They help us out. They keep us grounded. They lift us up when we need it as well. It's just personal stuff and how, they've been brilliant with us. It's just personal stuff and how they dealt with when they were first coming up and how they dealt with the pressure. And maybe when they didn't play well or when they did play well and just managing that. They're treating us well, like we're part of the team. So that's just how we feel now. That's testament to the way that the players treat us. Big him up, man. Big him up. He's then spoken on Odegaard, I believe. That's what or something else, to be fair. That's what I've been doing since young. One person will start playing up an age group, then we'll start playing up. One person will start scoring, then the next one will start scoring. That's just how me and him work. It's not competitive. So he's speaking about Lewis Skelly. It's not competitive. We just kind of raise each other's standards. And that's so good to have as a friend. Me and him, we talk every second of every day. We're always just talking about everything. We look back on the old times. We look into the future. It's everything. Hey, it's wavy. It's a movie. This is what we spoke about since young, breaking into the first team together. We just had our eyes on that vision. And the fact that we've been able to do it, amazing. Keep it calm, lad. And he said as well, people, on the Ipswich win, I'm very happy with the amount of goals I've scored this season. I think that's what I bring to the team. I bring goals and assists. I've been able to display that, so I'm happy. Mikel said at halftime to carry on how we're playing because we're dominating the first half. We're playing so well. He just wanted us to not take our foot off the gas and keep going. Fair play, lad. That's what you want. Journalist confirms Arsenal's transfer plans. They're looking at Premier League duo. Arsenal are looking to improve their defensive unit at the end of the season, and they've identified Heinsohn of Bournemouth and Nathan Collins, who played quite well for Brentford. Allegedly, both players have done quite well in the Premier League, and it's no surprise that Arsenal are keeping tabs on them. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to submit an official offer for 2 players in the coming rounds. Now, what does that tell us? Probably that we're seeking defensive cover. For a bunch of reasons. We've seen a lot of injuries, especially to what me and a lot of Arsenal fans would have said in the summer. If there's one area we thought were kind of able to withstand some injuries, it was the defensive third, and that's been run to its limits. Allegedly, Graham Bailey has revealed that Arsenal are keeping tabs on 2 players, and they want them to complement the likes of William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. I wouldn't be against Collins. I think they spent 20 odd million for him. I think the way Brentford play out from the back and press and all of that, he can do all of that. I think he's half decent with his feet. Don't mind you as a squad player, to be fair, dependent on the fee. One thing I find interesting is Arsenal's looking for another centre defender. Dean Hodgson and Nathan Collins are 2 they're looking at, and they insist they want them to complement Saliba and Gabriel. Fair enough. The Spaniard for Bournemouth has been linked with multiple clubs in recent months. I don't think we're that heavy on him. I think we like him, but I think other clubs might force the boat out a bit. And I'm not going to read this to you, but in November of 2023, there was an article in The Athletic that said Nathan Collins is just getting started. There's so much potential with him. And I read it. I have read it. And I've always liked him. And it made me believe, you know what, it wouldn't be bad. How Raphinha feels about shock Barcelona exit. Yeah, the clickbait, mate. Apparently, TBR Football can exclusively reveal that intermediaries have informed Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea about their chances of signing Raphinha this summer. Deco suggested he was tempted to sell Raphinha. Wasn't Deco once his agent? Be the ones closest to you that hurt you, man. Damn. Apparently, Thierry Henry reckons Raphinha could win the Ballon d'Or. Now, 4 p.m. I'm going to be live. I'm going to ask some Arsenal fans that, especially if Arsenal win the Champions League. Could Bukayo win that? Months ahead of the summer transfer window, Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea fans will be dreaming that Raphinha returns to the Premier League donning one of their shirts. Sources have told Graham Bailey that intermediaries have hinted to Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea that they could sign Raphinha. They've also informed other clubs apart from Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea that Raphinha could be available for 80 million in the summer. Wait, what? So we could sign him Okay, that basically means everyone's getting told about it. The British trio remains huge admirers of the 28-year-old. They are being kept informed about his situation. And as you see here, he's set to hold contract talks at Barcelona. I mean, smash the like button. What do you expect? He's become like the star man, give or take, between Yalmao. Is he tempted by Saudi interest? That probably tempt everyone, but still got things to achieve in Europe. Arsenal, apparently, for the 100th time, are interested in signing Athletic Bilbao attacker Nico Williams at the end of the season. We know the 22-year-old's been linked with us. I don't know, man. 1 minute he wants to come to the Prem, then he's going to sign a new deal at Athletic Bilbao. Now he wants to stay. Then who knows, man. Talks have taken place, and arguably the most advanced is Arsenal. Berta has spoken with his camp since he came in, but with Williams, that one issue remains. Does he want to play in England? And that question has just not been answered. We know Williams wants to play for Barcelona. He wants to play with Yamal. Personally, like Arsenal and others, I'm not convinced he wants to leave Spain. So, yeah, he's not leaving Spain. Let's move on. Next target, mate. Arsenal United want a striker. Liam Delap prefers Arsenal to Man United. I mean, everyone would really. I don't think we're that heavy on Liam Delap. Of course, we've scouted him. He's probably on a shortlist to some degree. And, if plan A, B, C, D, E, etc., doesn't happen, then maybe explore that. But yeah, music to my ears, though, nonetheless. Romano shares exciting Arsenal transfer update in the wake of Champions League win over Real Madrid. What did you say, Romano? He said Arsenal doing something special and also praised Arteta for having conveyed a message of unity and solution finding. I hear that, but what does that mean for us? What I can tell you today is that Arteta will be backed in the market. Okay. Arteta will have a lot of power in the market. Together with Andrea, they will plan for the strategy. Zubimendi is a top target. The new striker will arrive. Arsenal will also do more in the market. Now, in terms of plan A's and other plans, humor me, folks. We've just saw that if we take that for gospel, Williams might not want to leave Spain. Zubimendi, ironically, which is my point, might not want to leave Spain. Let's just assume Williams stays at Bilbao, goes elsewhere in Spain. Zubimendi the same. I hope this is the case, and you'd be naive for suggesting that there isn't a backup plan, but we have to be able to pivot. The same goes for Gyokeres and Sesko and this one and that one, but I wouldn't say that's anything that we didn't expect to hear. So Arsenal are working hard on Zubimendi, on a striker, on a winger probably, and more. Arsenal will be busy in the market, and Arteta will be backed, but he really deserved that. Seeing's believing, man. What are Bournemouth planning to do with their centre-back Hodgson, who's been linked with many a club as well as us? They're planning to do with him. That will be music to the ears of his suitors. Just wasting time. Munich and Real Madrid are looking at him, just wasting time. He's basically saying that they're planning for him, but they'll make contingency plans if they get rid. What's the Zubimendi hijack thing saying? Real Madrid explained Arsenal target Martin Zubimendi, their plans for him. Apparently, Santi Orna, who's a journalist, has bad news for Arsenal supporters as he revealed that Zubimendi prefers to join Real Madrid this summer. Furthermore, Real Madrid are believed to explain their plans to Zubimendi in talks to secure his signature, which could also potentially prove to be a blow for Arsenal. Arsenal are still waiting on Zubimendi's approval, but the internal belief within the Emirates Stadium aligns with Andrea Berta's that he's set to head to N5 in the summer. So again, by all means, pay 50-odd million quid, do that, but make sure we're able to pivot. On the topic of Berta, apparently he's initiated talks with RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko. Let's just skip to the bulk of this, man. I'm reading two things. Sesko's impressive form this season, netting 20 goals in 41 appearances, has reignited Arsenal's interest in him. Now, it swings and roundabouts. 1 minute, Gyokeres, then it's Sesko, then it's this, then it's that. Just make sure we get forward. We all know we was interested in him last summer. For one reason or another, he stayed in Germany. Sesko's potential availability this summer, coupled with his 58 million release clause, presents an opportunity for interested clubs. The Gunners want to take advantage of this and make a move for him this summer in order to strengthen in their attack. Slovenian national team manager has praised Sesko and claimed that the attacker's two main qualities are physical strength and speed. I hear that, and that came back in the Prem, and I like you, Sesko. I'm a supporter of you, but what, you're not going to say his best quality strikers, best qualities are finishing? I'm just saying. Because I want to hear that he would kill to score and them kind of things there. I mean, a bit of a joke, but you get the point, people. Liverpool are weighing up a summer move to sign Mbuemo. I'm not going to stop this agenda. Arsenal need to move for Mbuemo. You saw him and Visa link up again. Mbuemo would be wavy in our team, man. I know I'm dreaming, people. Anyone having Bernardo Silva? Allegedly, Man City have warned Bernardo Silva not be part of the plans this season. Well, next year. You having him? To be fair, I like it, Bernardo, but he talked too much. Again, I covered this yesterday, and there's no way in God's green earth I can pronounce his name, unfortunately. But according to Spanish outlet El Nacional, Arsenal are hoping to stop their raid of Bilbao at Jess Williams, not hoping to, with Arteta also now looking at attacking midfielder Oher Sanet as an absolute priority. I covered this yesterday, but he has 15 goals and in 17 starts, 24 years of age, plays for Williams club in Bilbao. I like him. I don't buy it though. Maybe it could be a contingency plan. You could say to Bilbao, fair enough, we can't get Williams. Can we have him? I don't know, but I don't buy it. As part of keeping his promise of scoring 20 goals in the league when he was signed and not leaving till now for other lucrative opportunities, Sporting have reduced Gyokeres' exit fee to 70 million. Are we doing that? Are we having that? Player will leave for sure this summer. Arsenal's best positioned to sign, allegedly. Chelsea could interfere. Player prefers Arsenal, Liverpool, and City in the Prem. Okay, music to my ears. Allegedly, if this will load, smash the like button. Kind of going around in circles. Arsenal are planning to sign a world-class midfielder this summer to replace Jorginho and Partey. Gomares and Zubimendi are their top two targets for that position. Arsenal have reached out to try and finalize a deal with Nico Williams after learning of Barcelona's decision to withdraw from the race. Barcelona apparently have thrown their hat into the ring for Gyokeres now. Barcelona is a big club, magic club, all of that. If you're Gyokeres, you want to sign for a club like Barca anyways. But imagine they say to him, we're going to get Nico Williams. We've got Yao Mao. Lewandowski's a good player, but he's not going to be in the next 2 years. He's getting on a bit. I don't know, but everyone's interested in everyone. We'll have to see how it plans out. Now, I would love Arsenal to sign Morgan Rogers, but apparently Liverpool have identified Morgan Rogers as a key summer transfer target and are determined to beat Arsenal, City, Man United, and PSG to his signature. Now, are all these clubs trying to go for him like that? Or is it a thing where everybody likes Morgan Rogers? If he was available or positive signals from either Aston Villa or his camp, they'd be involved. I'd love Morgan Rogers at Arsenal. You and Rice in midfield, oof. But yeah, it's going to cost a crap load of money. Going back over again, people. Allegedly, Arsenal progressing very well in their talks to extend Bukayo Saka's contract. The star is set to become the highest paid player at the club. We've gone over that. Xavi Simons could leave Leipzig this summer, and the German club will want 70 million if they are to sell the 21-year-old. Liverpool, Man United are among the clubs interested. Are we having him? I like what I could see. And unpopular opinion, I don't know if he wants to leave Barcelona, but would you have Fermin Lopez from Barcelona? Allegedly, Chelsea are preparing a 40 million euros offer, and apparently Atletico Madrid are also keen. I wouldn't be against it. We're on an emotional roller coaster with this club. We're going to need plenty just to replace those who are leaving. That's without increasing first choice starters and expanding the squad. We can't go with 22 players again, facts. Or Arteta likes to say 19. You're right, man. You are right. Bless up, Alan. Once again, we need 100%. We 100% need a striker, a 10, and a left winger, a left back, and a DM if Partey leaves, and a backup keeper. Hate it or love it, Arteta knows how to utilize his players for versatility. Rice, Luis Skelly, Marino, Havertz, even Trossard and Zinni can play in more than one position. DG, would you sign Raphinha or Yalmao? It's okay having versatility, but we need some elite specialists who can raise the ceiling. And that's where we need to somehow get that balance of quality and quantity, because I would like a player up front that can do all the things that we see Marino doing, minus the goals for a sec. And obviously Havertz as well. But can you do all of that and just be a cold-hearted killer in front of goal? Because just imagine going into the new season, regardless of how it pans out, just looking at your front line, just many other areas, but just your front line. There's Saka there. There's a serious striker there. There's a serious left winger there, give or take, with Martinelli. Boy, he's the best finisher at the club. Keep him. I hear you about the roller coaster, but every now and again, it goes right for us. 4 signings, maybe we win the champs, and they will all want to sign. Come on, Gunner. Stuart, I hope you're right, man. I hope we can win the champs, man. Garnacho versus Everton. Haaland did a bicycle. Who did Haaland score a bicycle against? I feel like you're right. So maybe my memory's just poor, because I defo was sat here and I was like, you know what? I haven't really seen too many bicycle kicks, or it doesn't feel they're as frequent. Neil, one love, my guy. I think we need to keep Trossard in the squad. We need reliable players off the bench. Pick up yourself, Manny. For me, Trossard, Nelly, Odegaard, Havertz, Marino, Jesus should all be on the bench with upgrades in the